Kick back, unwind, and enjoy a rare find. Welcome to the second ever VHS Hauls from the Bins episode. I found 14 tapes sold as blank, taped off the TV in the bins, and they're all from the 80s, except for two, I think. We have some good stuff here. We have Sesame Street, Mr. Rogers, cartoons, news, miscellaneous movies, ALF programs. Okay, I haven't really explored these yet in depth, so let's go through the tapes. Maybe I'll find a gem when I watch them. I already know there's going to be multiple gems in this haul. Half the tapes here have this slip sleeve. It's a plastic and it's from the mid 80s, 1986, 1987. Pretty old school and fancy looking. Here's the first set of tapes, and I have them in a set because you can see it says S1, S2, S3, 4, 5. These are all Sesame Street tapes from the 80s, from 1987. Here's Sesame Street tape number 1, and there's a label on the side as well. It says Sesame Street February 13th, 1987, volume 1, and then I guess the counter, and then there's another date, February 17th, 1987. Cool, let's tape 1 out of 5 Sesame Street stuff, taped off the TV from the 80s. Next up, Sesame Street tape number 2. I watched a little bit of it, and it is confirmed it's from 1987 with the commercials, all of them. And I guess there's not so much commercial-wise because it's from PBS or Maryland Public Television, I forget. Here's tape number 3, Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers on this one. Tape number 4, more Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers. I just wanted to show you the 80s usual tape. It's got shiny sides, and it usually will have some kind of rating up here, and it's got some kind of crazy grain. This one doesn't have a lot of crazy grain looking stuff, but sometimes it can get really fancy, and it's heavy. Next one, Twist. It's a Polaroid slip sleeve and a Polaroid tape, but you can tell right away it's from the 80s. It's heavy with the shiny sides, the rating, and it says Sesame Street and Mr. Rogers. Okay, next tape. Another one definitely from the 80s, and it says ALF programs. I mean, that's obviously the TV show, right? Right? Hopefully with all the commercials. Here's another old Polaroid. Why do I keep saying Polaroid? It is Polaroid. Here's another old Polaroid one here. And this one, it should have been in the plastic Panasonic case. But check out this label. Cartoons, Saturday, Volume 1. And there's a date on the side. Not super early 80s, but April 25th, 1987. So think about what kind of cartoons could be on here from that time period. And I actually tried to watch this, but you know what happened? I put it in. The tape's cut off. It's down in the roller somewhere, so I have to open it up, do a little bit of VHS tape surgery so we can watch it. Next up, we have this Nippon slip sleeve. Pretty cool, pretty old school, but the tape inside actually is from the Panasonic clear sleeves from earlier. And I actually watched this. I got a cheat sheet here. It's labeled MIS1, which stands for Miscellaneous Movies, etc. But I started watching it, and it was the first Star Trek movie in really bad quality, and I had the commercials, but those were in bad quality as well, because the tape's kind of, I guess maybe, I don't know about deteriorating, but losing its quality, maybe. But if I watch more into the tape, maybe it'll be better? I don't know. Do you like tape in the news off the TV? Well, this person did. We have N1, N2, and N3 for news tapes. Here's news tape number 1. And it's actually that 1987 Panasonic plastic slip that we had earlier, but it was in the wrong slip sleeve. Here it says news, etc. But then on the side label it's got more information. Reagan and Iran scandal. Judge Bork. PTL and tax hearings. Maybe not the most exciting news, but it's news from the 80s, and I actually watched a little bit of this, and it's from February 22nd, 1987, and Andy Warhol had died. Here's news number 3. Yeah, we're skipping number 2. I don't know what happened to that one. And this is in the wrong slip sleeve. Probably this slip sleeve would have been reversed with that one. But on the side, we have News 3, Nile steam engine. Okay, And then another random news tape. It's not number 4 or 5, it's just news. The top is blank, but it says News Channel 12, April 15th, 1988. I did not look up to see if anything special happened on that date, but I'll just watch it and see. Okay, we have 3 left. We have an R1. What does R1 stand for? Well, Mr. Rogers, of course. So, more 80s Mr. Rogers. So the last 2 are not from the 80s. This one is actually from the 2000s. It's in this Durabrand sleeve. Yeah, remember that? I filmed on, I think, 3 Durabrand CRTs and beaten Battletoads on them so far for my main episodes. First Durabrand tape and sleeve I've ever seen out there. Can't get the tape out. And the tape is for the 2008 election results when Obama wins. It's a cool piece of history to watch. And then the very last tape and the very last rare find for this little VHS Hauls from the bins episode is this Polaroid, and it's actually a little lighter than the others. And the back of this slip sleeve says 1993, so that makes sense. And what is on here? It's blank. But taking into account some of the other cool stuff this person taped, might be something really good. Well, that's it. And remember, like Indiana Holmes always says, keep up the grind, and you get a rare find.